Hi everyone, I'm back again. I am so sorry about the technical difficulties on my last video, but let's start again. So hi, welcome to my channel. I am Sema Martin, pet portrait artist and fine art artist, and today I wanted to live draw with you the background of my current commission. So this is a 2-dog portrait on an A3 piece of paper. I'm using pastels, coloured pencils, and all the tools and materials I'll be using during this video is listed below in the description. Feel free to ask me questions if you see anything that you're wondering about, or if you have any questions about being a pet portrait artist. It doesn't even have to be about the drawing. Just let me know, comment in the chat box. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, so let's get started. I'll firstly just show you a quick tour of my studio. So this is my drawing board desk. It flips up and down, which is very useful. I like to draw on an incline, and I've got a Manfrotto arm here. So currently I'm using a webcam to film this. I hope you can see me. And let me know if you can't see me. This is a Manfrotto arm, as you can see here. So I've got my arm connected on this bar here with my lighting. So these are my daylight lamps and my Manfrotto arm, which is really good for any like heavy duty cameras and video equipment, because it's very good at holding it up at a really stable, in a stable way. So I would suggest getting that if you have trouble with that kind of thing. I've got this HyperX microphone. Whoops. HyperX microphone, which is very, very good if you do tutorials, if you are interested in doing voiceovers, doing that kind of thing. I would suggest getting this microphone. It's very, very useful, but it's pretty. It easily plugs into anything, and yeah, I really like using it. I don't remember if I actually put a link to this in my description, but if I haven't, I will let you know. Yeah, so let's get on. I'm now going to transfer you to my Manfrotto arm, and then you can see what I'm drawing. So let me just get you over here. So I would also love to hear from you. Who are you? What are you doing? Are you a pet portrait artist? It's always nice to make friends and meet people who do and like the same things as you. So feel free to message me and chat to me in the chat box. That would be super nice. Yeah, so here we are. I've used this low-tack artist tape to put my paper on. I like to use this because it stops it from bowing and bending as I'm working on the portrait. I find that with colour pencil, if you work on it too much, it can distort the paper. So I always tape it down with a low-tack tape so it doesn't rip off the paper in the meantime. Also, I'm using this Galaxy tablet, which I can easily zoom in and out, see the details and the colors of my commission. And I find that super useful to use instead of like a printout. I used to use printouts, but now I don't have a color printer and I haven't really needed a color printer. I feel like they're more hassle than they're worth. So I use this tablet and it's much easier. So yeah, let's get into it. My base layer is Pan Pastel. So I've used Pan Pastel brand for many years now. I really like it. They're so pigmented and they really go far because they're so pigmented. So I've had this one for many years and, you know, it hasn't really made a dent apart from me accidentally making a dent in it. I've used these small applicator tools, which are very useful for doing small details. And then you just dab it a little bit and then apply like this. I use circles to blend it nicely to make sure it's all in the paper. Because this isn't pastel paper, this is Canison 200 GSM paper, mixed media. It doesn't hold as many layers as pastel paper, but that's fine because I'm not doing a pastel portrait. I'm doing a colour pencil portrait. So I use the pastel to basically get rid of the white and block in all my colours. And then I use colour pencil over the top. So I like to start off with Caran d'Ache Luminance. I love this brand. This is a softer, waxier kind of pencil. And I like to use this to go over the top, to have as many layers, to get rid of the white, to show the detail, all that kind of stuff. So I like to do all the blending, the blurriness with the Caran d'Ache Luminance, and then I like to do my detail over the top with the Faber-Castell pencils. I love Faber-Castell polychromos. I've used them for the last 7 years of being a pet portrait artist, and I just really, really love their quality. And then I discovered Caran d'Ache Luminance, made so beautiful, such a good pencil, and it's very different from the polychromos, so I like to use them together. I like to mix up my pencil brands because I feel like different brands are good for different parts of the portrait. So I mainly use Caran d'Ache for the background, and then I mainly use the polychromos for the actual dogs because it allows you to do a lot more detail because it's a harder pencil. Yeah. So I've been a pen and portrait artist for, I think, about 7 years now, 7 years last month. And I just love it. I love it so much. I haven't loved anything else so much before this. I was an aerospace engineer. So yes, very, very different from being a pet artist. But art was my calling. Art's always my calling. It's always been my passion. I did engineering because, I had everyone in my ear telling me, well, art's just a hobby. It's not a real career. You can't, base your life on that. So you should probably pick something more safer, more esteemed. So I chose an engineer, and then I became an aerospace engineer. I liked the idea of flight and going into space. So then I did another master's in space studies at the International Space University in Strasbourg, which was an incredible opportunity. I also got to work for NASA for a few months, and honestly, I really loved my engineering career. I did everything that I wanted to do in it. I ticked all the boxes that I personally wanted to achieve, and then I felt like, what do I do now? I started drawing again and fell back in love with art, and I honestly never looked back. I quit my PhD. I was like, no, I'm just going to be an artist now. This is what I want to do. I don't want to wait until I retire. I want to be an artist now, and I will make it work as a living. My husband has been incredibly supportive and helping me to achieve my dreams. And we've both have, done what it takes to make sure that we're living the life we want. He's also an entrepreneur. He's an art dealer, and he has his own businesses. So we're both quite like-minded in that respect. We don't have jobs. We just work all day, every day. And now that we have a child, it definitely makes it harder. So he's with the baby right now while I'm talking to you. And it just makes it easier working as a team, I think, because it feels at work all day. I wouldn't be able to do this. And also, I think our child really enjoys us both being there. And the point of being an artist for me was to make sure I had the time and the flexibility to be there for my child. So I'm really pleased I can do that. So this is basically what I do with the Caran d'Ache. I just keep going over, looking at my reference image, seeing where the darkest bits are, I'm sort of working light to dark, and then dark to light on some bits. So I look at the darkest part, where are the darkest reds, and then they go in to do that. But I don't fully burnish my paper. Like, I'm not putting a lot of pressure. I'm just doing a bit because I don't want to lose any layers yet. Like, this is still the early stage. Like, this stage is probably like a few layers. So I'm trying to get it to look like this, but it won't look like this until I've built up the layers. So that's that pencil. And then I'll go in, I've got a mid-tone here and then a lighter tone here. So let's do the lighter one for a bit. I started doing backgrounds for my pet portraits because I just wanted to be a bit different and I wanted to have new challenges. When you do it for so long, it starts to become a bit samey in terms of techniques over and over again, and it's very hard to learn anything new if you're drawing the same thing. So I thought if I implemented backgrounds, then I could learn new things. I could finally use all the greens and the pinks and the blues in my arsenal of colour pencils. And so that's why I decided to start using colour pencils. Backgrounds, sorry, that's why I started to do backgrounds. It's actually quite hard to talk and draw at the same time because I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing. And then I'm also talking about a different subject most of the time. This is my first live on YouTube. I haven't done a YouTube live before. I normally did lives on Instagram. I've done one on Facebook, but I wanted to try YouTube. It's been a while since I started adding to my YouTube channel, so I thought this might be a really good place to start. Just by doing a live, uploading it, done. That's what I hope. Anyway, it's that easy if you don't have technical difficulties like I did earlier. Instead of starting at 2, I've now started at 2:30. So I apologise for anybody that joined me then. But you can watch this back later, so if you did get fed up of the technical difficulties and leave, I will upload this video later as well, so you can watch it back. All the materials that I'm using are in the description below, so you can see that and click through to get your own. I'm using concentric circles because I'm going to blur it through. This is all a very blurred background. You can't quite see the screen because it's all reflective, but it's a blurred background of orchids. So the owners grow orchids in their garden as their job, which is a beautiful job to have. And so we collaborated and decided to include them in the portrait of their babies. I always like to use backgrounds to help personalize the commission more, because obviously commission's already personal because it's their pet, their cat, their dog, their horse. But I feel like it can just be more than that. It can have a deeper meaning, like maybe it's the cat's favorite place to sit, maybe it's, the dog's favorite room, or their favorite color, or the owner's favorite color. Like, it can mean so much more by adding a background. So I just love being able to do that. It does take longer than just keeping it white, but I think it just looks better. So that's sort of what I do with the red. I just keep going. I'll just show you a bit with the green now. So here again, Caran d'Ache Luminance. So I've got some big, bright, tropical greens in here. Here I go press a little bit harder so you can see it better. And it can sort of blend with the red a little bit more. Again, I'm just doing the lightest parts first. So I'm constantly looking at my reference picture. I look about like every second, really. Every second I'm turning my head, looking at the drawing, looking at the reference picture, looking at the drawing, looking at the reference picture. Always comparing, always using it as a source to show me and guide me where my pencil should go. I think this background's going to be so amazing once it's finished. These dogs are black and white, so the black and white dogs on top of the colourful red and green background is just going to be so wonderful. So wonderful. I'm really happy. I'm also doing another portrait for them as well of their dogs and them. So that's going to be so nice as well. Just trying to figure out what colour orchids we should do for the background. So these are the red ones. I didn't realise orchids, like, yes, they're potted plants, but they grow huge, like really, really huge. I just didn't know. I'm not much of a green thumb person, so I didn't realise how big they can get. And you see how softly that blends? It's looking so much nicer now. You just keep building up the layers bit by bit. You don't want to go in guns a blazing. You want to do it gently, carefully. And always look at your reference picture, like constantly. I'm starting to build up all these colour pencils in my hand now. Sometimes I like hold so many colour pencils in my hand, they're all like falling out. I should probably sharpen these at some point as well. I'll show you the sharpener I use in a minute. I'll just do this bit. Look at that green. Isn't that a nice green? So again, I'm using lots of concentric circles, blending it nicely because this is such a pigmented colour in the right place until it's blended correctly. But then again, no, there isn't a right or wrong when it comes to art. I don't think anyway. I think you can do whatever you like. So are you a pet portrait artist? I can see a few of you watching my video. What do you like to do? What do you like to draw? It'd be really nice to make some friends instead of me sitting here alone doing a drawing. I'm actually also starting something called the Pet Portrait Artist Club. So if you are a pet portrait artist and you're interested in socializing and collaborating, building a community with other like-minded artists like myself, like plenty of other pet portrait artists, then please do go to my website and sign up for the waiting list. It's going to be an incredible opportunity, like unlike anything you've ever seen. It's not just going to be like another thing full of tutorials. It's a membership platform and you get access to so much help and information and events, socials, Like this is the place to be if you are a pet portrait artist. So go to semamartin.com, scroll down to the bottom of the footer where it says Pet Portrait Artist Club, click on it and subscribe to the waiting list. And you will hear when it launches. I'm very, very excited for it. It's something that I've always wanted to be a part of. And I think it's something that's desperately needed, especially for people that work all day by themselves in their room. This is a place where you can socialize. Like we can all be hanging out, drawing together right now. Like it'll be just so lovely. And then doing, there'd also be scheduled talks from professionals and top people in their fields. So like people that are very good at doing filming, taking pictures, PR, even animal or pet autonomy, talks about how to understand the structure of dogs and cats and just really think about your drawing in a different way. Like you're not just copying a picture, you're drawing an animal. So that's how you have to see it. Like, so even if your picture's blurry, it doesn't matter. You can still draw it because you know the structure of the skull. You know where the eyes go. You know how the hair reacts and falls and, generally looks. So it's so important to remember these things when you're drawing. It's not just about copying a picture. You're not a photocopier. You're an artist. So it's a good way to learn how to use your artistic brain. So I'll show you my sharpener now. This is my Derwent mechanical sharpener, hand sharpener. It's very, very, very good. Like, I don't know if I can do it on the screen because it's a bit of a... Look at that point. Beautiful, right? Such a great point for a colour pencil. I just love it. It's such a good sharpener. And it's very quick. It's actually quite quiet, I thought. Very good for when my baby's sleeping. You probably won't see the end result of this section today because it takes such a long time. And I've got to put my baby to sleep in a minute, so. But if you tune in, I'll try this again next week and I'll connect straight to my mobile hotspot, so there won't be connection difficulties and you will be able to see me. And it's going to be great. Super duper duper. I should also probably bring water next time. Talking a lot does make your throat a bit dry. Anybody else just hum to themselves as they draw? It's the thing to do, right? Hum, hum, hum. Oh, it's looking nice. I'm really pleased. I'm going to get it nice and blurred. So lots of concentric circles, I say. Again, there's no right or wrong way. Do what you want. Try things out. See what works for you. I mean, I'm an artist. You're an artist. I haven't had any sort of formal education on this. I've literally just been drawing and practicing and honing for the last 7 years. And that's why I do what I do and how I do it. But it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. And it doesn't mean that you should do exactly the same. You know, try out the way I do things. If you don't like it, then try and find your own way. If you do like it, then great, expand upon that. Try and really push it to its limits. Because everybody has such different styles that different techniques work well for different people. And keep building these layers. I've got, so as you can see, I'm using just Caran d'Ache pencils so far because they're all waxed based, they're soft, they're easy to blend, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create a blended background, and they're a lot easier to blend together. As soon as I start on the dogs, I'll be using Faber-Castell Polychromos because they're a harder pencil and they're really good for adding detail, like fine hairs and shining eyes and little speckles on the nose and things like that. So that's what the polychromos are really good for. But these are really good for getting in that background, blending it all beautifully and seamlessly. I guess if you've got like shiny objects as well, like if you were drawing like a vase or something, these are really good pencils for that, just because they're so easy to blend. I've got that Miley Cyrus song stuck in my head. I really like it. I think it doesn't really relate to me at all, but I really like it. It's very catchy. And I guess that's the point. So next week I will try this again, and this time hopefully the background will be done and I will be doing a live on dogs. So I don't know which one. I'll probably start this one first actually, because I like to work left to right, because I'm right-handed. I don't want to blur everything and rub it all off with my hand, so I like to work left to right. So I'll be doing this one first, but I don't know how far along I'll be until then. If you subscribe to my email list, I'll keep you updated. You can go to semamartin.com, scroll down to the bottom footer and sign up for my newsletter, and I'll keep you updated as to when the live is and what I'll be doing in the live. And also, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, mostly Facebook, then you can keep up to date with my drawings. But I mostly keep my subscribers more up to date than social media. It depends what I'm doing, so because I like my commissions to be at a certain stage before I take pictures and share it on social media. But then with social media stories or email subscribers, I'm always sharing things. So right, I know that wasn't that long, but I'm going to have to stop there. Let's just have a little look at this then, shall we? Just taking you off my arm. So here you can see this. Hello again. Yes, I wear glasses sometimes when I'm trying to draw because I focus so much that on like small details that it hurts my eyes after a while. there. Okay. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below and I will answer it. If you liked it, please give it a like. If you want to subscribe and see more, then that would be wonderful. And thank you again. I hope you have a lovely weekend. And yes, bye-bye. See ya.